It might sound strange, but I used to hate vegetables. Not just a few, but most of them. So I had to figure out how to cook them in a way that I actually liked. And I started noticing something. Vegetables always taste better in restaurants. When you make them at home, they tend to turn out boring. The difference usually comes down to two things: time and temperature. Treating vegetables the same way you would treat a good piece of meat. So, I'm doing exactly that. Glazed and roasted red cabbage with smooth cauliflower puree. I actually made a mistake here at first. When you cut the cabbage into wedges, you want to make sure you cut through the core. That's what holds the pieces together while they cook. This piece here, for example, you can see it has the core intact. It will keep its shape nicely. The other pieces I cut differently will fall apart more easily. But that's fine. I'll just save them and use them for something else later. Cabbage is usually treated like a side dish. Something quick, maybe fried, or just raw in a salad. It's rarely the main focus of a dish. But I think it deserves more than that. If you cook it properly, it can absolutely be the star of the dish. And it's not just for vegetarians either. Even if you usually prefer meat, this is the kind of dish that can completely change how you see vegetables. There is a big difference between using clarified butter and regular butter. Clarified butter has a deeper, slightly nutty flavor, and it can handle higher temperatures without burning. I usually make a large batch at once, and it keeps forever in the fridge. Another ingredient I really like using is juniper. Juniper berries have a very distinct, almost forest-like flavor. And if you ever have access to fresh juniper branches, they're amazing to cook with. You can place fish or meat directly on top of them. They'll infuse everything with that special aroma. For the glaze, I'm using cherry juice. It adds both sweetness and acidity. You can experiment with other fruits here as well. Anything that brings a bit of brightness into the dish. But I personally would not use cherry wine for this. It tends to be stronger, much sweeter, and can easily overpower the other flavors in the dish. I think most people don't really know what to do with red cabbage. If you think about it, how do you usually eat it? It ends up in a salad or as a quick side, and that's about it. But it's one of those ingredients that completely changes when you give it a bit more attention. With its deep purple-red color, it already looks special. And with the right care, it tastes like it too. And then there is cauliflower. It's a very different kind of vegetable. It takes on whatever direction you give it. If you boil it, it stays soft and mild. If you steam it, you get a similar result, just more firm. But if you roast it, you start to get deeper and more intense flavors. So it really comes down to what you really want in the final dish. In this case, I want the cabbage to stand out. So I'm keeping the cauliflower smooth, soft and mild, turning it to something that supports the dish without competing. And for the stems, parts people often throw away are perfect for something else, a stew or a stir fry. When you collect small leftover pieces from different vegetables, it doesn't take much to turn them into another full meal later. For the puree, I'm also being careful not to push the onion and the cauliflower too far. I'm not looking for a heavy caramelization here. I want to keep that light color and mild clean flavor. Something that stays in the background, but still adds to the final dish. Purees are a really nice alternative to mashed potatoes. And you can make them from almost any vegetable: carrots, parsnips, celery root, peas, name it. Each one gives a slightly different texture and flavor. Some are sweeter, some more earthy, others more creamy. And depending on how you cook them, you can adjust the final result quite a bit. It's a simple way to change a dish without doing anything complicated. Cooking also becomes a lot more enjoyable when you have good tools. And sometimes it really is worth investing in quality. Unfortunately, I did not do that here. My strainer didn't survive. You don't actually have to strain the puree. It's already smooth and silky as it is. But if you want that extra level, then straining can make a difference. While the cabbage finishes cooking, I don't want the puree to form a skin on the surface. So I cover it with cling film, pressing it directly onto the puree. That way, it stays smooth until it's time to serve. I think dishes like this are a good reminder that vegetables don't have to be boring. They don't have to be an afterthought or something that you just add on the side. If you give them that same attention and care as much as you would anything else, they can become something really special. This one feels like I've brought a restaurant home. I can't believe I used to hate vegetables.